Hi, hello, and welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. My name's Sophia, and welcome to my channel. This is my first ever YouTube video. I'm so excited. I'm a huge consumer of YouTube. I love watching people's day in the lives, their vlogs, Booktube, book talk, to say the least. And I've always kind of wanted to do this, have a video diaries, and I'm young. I am newly-ish married, living in Atlanta. So I just kind of want to have it to look back on maybe one day, show my kids, and also have a video source of all the books that I read in real time and how I felt in that moment, because over time it can change. I do have a full-time job, but I love to read and I will always make time for reading. So this is going to be my introduction video. At the end, we will do 5 books that I want to get off my physical TBR in the year 2025. But before we begin, I want to tell you a little bit about me. So like I said, my name's Sophia. Most of my friends call me Soph. I know I'm in trouble if somebody uses my full name usually, or we mean business. So to everybody here, hi, my name is Soph, and welcome to my library. I am 24 years old. I'm about to be 25 at the end of the week, which is really sad. I am now in my mid-20s. But for one more week, I'm still in my early 20s. I went to Clemson University. I'm originally from South Carolina. I grew up in Columbia. Went to Clemson for marketing and brand communications. I danced all 4 years. I danced growing up, throughout high school, all of it, did the whole 9 yards, competition, dance team, everything. Loved every second of it. Taught dance for a while. Would love to go back and teach dance sometime soon. I met my husband my junior year of college. I was set up with him during COVID through our best friends who are also now married. Shout out Caitlin and Tristan, our besties down in Charleston. But we met, started dating 2 weeks later, said I love you 2 weeks later, and the rest is history. Here we are. He's a year younger than me, so when I graduated with my degree, I got a job in dental sales, which is also my current job, and moved straight down to Atlanta. In that year, he was finishing his undergrad and then came down here and joined me. We got engaged, planned a wedding, got married right before he started grad school down here. So it's been a fun-filled few years, and I want to keep memories of it. So here we are. We love to explore Atlanta. Sometimes I have to drag him out of the house, but I love finding new things. I am not a sedentary person. Let me say it one more time. If you know me, I am not a sedentary person. I love to be active. I love health and wellness. I love fitness. I love going to the gym. So in some of those vlog style videos, you might see a little bit of that. You'll see a lot of reading vlogs, especially by the end of the week. If you know, Onyx Storm just came out. So maybe a little bit of something at the end of the week for reading that one. But my current read right now is I am on the last book of the Zodiac Academy series, just the main portion. I don't know that I'll be continuing the rest of it, unfortunately. We'll see. But at the moment, we're finishing this big portion, and then we'll be going into Onyx Storm. So super excited for that. In 2024, I found a lot of new authors I love. One of them, Abby Jimenez, Annabelle Monaghan. I want to continue that trend into 2025. For these 5 books, before I get into it, they are all going to be new authors, a couple new genres thrown in there. I want to branch out a little bit. I read too much to own everything behind me. My apartment is only 550 square feet because we live in a big city, and that's okay. But I don't have room for the physical library right now, so you'll see me as I outgrow this shelf behind me as I read on my Kindle. I am a huge Kindle girly. I am obsessed with my case too. However, this is like a 8th generation Kindle, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Still works, still gets the job done. So that's really all I care about there. Oh, how I got into reading. I have been into reading since 6th grade, probably. I think for school, we read The Hunger Games as our summer reading, and that just sparked the whole interest in all of it. I read The Hunger Games right when that movie came out when I was younger. Then from there, we went into Divergent. After that, let's see. I've read everything. The Match series, Maze Runner, Requiem, Uglies. Oh my gosh, so many books that I can't even list. That gives me so many nostalgic feelings. I loved reading way back then, and I didn't really realize that you could make videos about it. I watched a couple of things with my friends here and there, but I wish I had done this sooner because I probably remember a lot more about the books. And, over time, your ratings change, your thoughts and feelings towards the books change. And I feel like it's just blown up so much recently. And a lot of the ones that have blown up have been series that I've been fans of for like years, authors I've been fans of for years. So it's just really full circle. And why not document it? Why not watch it? I love watching it. Hopefully you love watching it, and hopefully I can meet some new friends along the way because that's what this community is all for. So here we are. If you don't believe that I love reading, I read 100 and I think 19 books in 2024, and my goal was 100. So I'm really proud of that. I did really good, especially working full time. When I'm driving, I do sometimes listen to audiobooks. I do prefer to actually read the book, though. Every once in a while, I may do a audiobook if maybe I'm struggling to get through it, or if it's a super, 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 super long book like those fantasy books. Sometimes I'll double time it because too many books out there that I want to read and not enough time in the world. So, what other fun facts can I tell you? Oh, I'm the youngest of three. Everybody thinks my siblings and I are adopted, which is really funny. We're not adopted, and we're not half siblings, and we're not step siblings. So that's really funny. But haha, no. We are fully siblings. None of us look alike. We all have very different personalities too, but we get along great. I love my siblings, so shout out to them. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, but let's get into the content of it. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to know if you've read these books, your thoughts on these books, what I should start with, what I should save maybe till later in the year when we're getting back to those winter months. Just whatever thoughts and feelings you have. I'd love to make some new friends on here, and I'm just excited to build this community. So let's get into the bulk of today's video. It's gonna be so fun. Okay, book one, House in the Cerulean Sea. Hope I'm saying that right, by TJ Klune. I have seen this on a lot of videos. It's never been something that's been on my radar. I don't know how long this has been out, but I was watching, I think, one of Sarah Crowley's videos and a couple of others too, just on TikTok, where they go to Barnes or a bookstore and they interview people and just ask what their favorite book is, and then they read it. It's been not in one, not two, but three of those videos. So I take that as a sign of now I have to know. One thing about me when I'm reading, I do have FOMO. I rarely DNF, and if it's a series, I'm going to finish that series. Those are my three fatal flaws when it comes to reading. Some might call them flaws. I don't. I love the feeling of finishing a book, whether I liked it or not. I love the feeling of just being in the know of all the fandoms that are out there, whether I'm obsessed with it as much as they are or I'm not. I just like to know. What can I say? You can love it, you can hate it, but you're along for the ride for it. So this will be my first book on that list. Don't know what it's about. I'm going in blind. If I can, I always love to go into books blind. I think that makes them so much better. And sometimes when there's a ton of hype behind them, I love Booktube. I have a love-hate relationship with Booktube, I'll say. But sometimes they can get overhyped. And then I have these super, super high standards that just aren't obtainable for it and don't love it as much as everybody else does. So my new rule of 2025 is not going into the book knowing everything about it, knowing everybody's obsession about it. Look at it. If I'm interested, if I have FOMO with it, take it, read it, and go into it blind, because you always end up liking it better, in my opinion. Do I even need to say anything? Like, look at this cover. I mean, I'm obsessed with it. The cover alone would get me to read it. I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but we do look. I mean, it has to look good on your bookshelf, right? But this is You with the View by Jessica Joyce. I think she has only written 2 books. So a debut, and this one, I don't know which one's a debut and which one's not. But she started out with a bang, is all I have to say, because I have seen it everywhere. It has great reviews on Goodreads. I know nothing about what it's about, but it also gives me Valentine's vibes, and we are getting towards that time. So probably when I finish Zodiac Academy, I'll take a breather and read something fun and cute in between, do Onyx Storm, and then probably start this in February. So this one will probably get knocked off sooner rather than later, which is a good thing. We love checking boxes off of our TBR. But yeah, also a new author. So 2 new authors so far. I think they're all new authors for me. So we're still expanding those horizons as far as reading goes and finding new authors to love this year. Next is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I technically am reading one of his books right now, but it's one of his older books that isn't super popular, at least to my knowledge. I think it's called My Grandma Told Me to Tell You She's Sorry, or something around those lines. It's super cute. I'm obsessed with it, but I can definitely tell that I do like his writing style. So I think maybe reading some of his more popular books will be better for me. I can tell like there can be some connections to the characters if you do feel connected to them based on how he's writing it. So I think just this one specifically I'm not super connected to, but I heard this one's very relatable. So I feel like it's a good place to start. I know Beartown is his super, super popular one, which I really want to read too, but I feel like I need to start here first. Then we'll go into Beartown, because again, that's another series and a commitment. But I feel like everybody posts great things. I see crying videos, and if a book can make you cry, I think that says a lot. I love to cry in my book. That means I'm super connected to the characters in it, and that there's a huge found family. And I know it has to do with hockey in a small town. I think that's all I got for it. But again, we're going into books blind this year. That's what we're doing. So we'll start here, and then we'll work our way to Beartown. I know I just said that I'm not going to jump into as many series, but this has been on my radar for a long time. I watch a ton of Sarah Caroli videos. She's one of my comfort creators. Destiny Sidwell, Haley Pham, all of them. And I think it's Sarah. She's the one who talks about this all the time. But it's the Prison Healer series. I don't know if it's a trilogy. I know there's 2 other books at least. And it's a series. What can I say? Guilty. But I'll finish it. Just like I said before, if there's a series, I'm going to finish it. So if we like it, then what's the harm, right? So we're just going to go into it blind. I don't know a ton about it. I've seen snippets here and there of her, of some video reviews, things like that, but it seems to be kind of underrated because I really don't see or hear it talked about that much, which I feel like is a good thing. Even if you don't see it or hear it as much, sometimes you find you really love it and then it blows up out of nowhere. That's kind of what happened to me with the ACOTAR series. I read that and Throne of Glass as they were coming out back in high school. And I will never forget reading ACOTAR and I was also in an extracurricular class where we just got to read for fun and we would present on the books that we read. And I literally did a presentation on it, telling everybody to read it. I was trying to get all of my friends to read it in high school and they didn't for a while until one of my friends finally did. And she's like, I don't know how you read this book and never had anybody to talk to about it. And I was like, thank you. You understand now. It's very difficult to hold it in when you love the books that you're reading. So I have the original covers somewhere behind me too. I'm obsessed with all of them. I was back then. And same thing happened with Emily Henry when she came out with The Love That Split the World and A Million Junes, those OG series that she wrote. And then all of a sudden, fast forward to TikTok, and now they've both blown up a ton, which is crazy to me because way back when I was trying to get other people to read them. So it's really cool to see how these authors have grown so much and how they're so successful now. So maybe with other series that maybe I don't hear about as much, it'll happen too. You never know. Now that we're off of that tangent, another thing that I got into last year is I did start reading Kristen Hanna. She's super popular. I read The Great Alone and The Nightingale. And then I also read Four Winds. I didn't love that one. The Nightingale I really loved. The Great Alone I loved. So I did enjoy them. That was my first kind of start with historical fiction, and I want to keep going with it. I saw Destiny Sidwell read this one, seemed to really connect to it and really love it, and I feel like we have similar book tastes. So I also love the cover for it. I think it's amazing. Again, don't judge a book by its cover, but it really adds to my bookshelf, I have to say. But I'm very interested in it, and so I feel like I need to try somebody other than Kristen Hanna and kind of get a feel for how I really like the genre and if I want to keep going with it. And maybe it's just about finding specific authors that I like, but again, these are all new authors except for technically Frederick Bachman. So we are branching out, and I'm pretty proud of that, to say the least, because I feel like way back when I was reading, books did not come out and blow up as crazy as they do now. I remember going to Y'all Fest back in high school and meeting some of these authors like Victoria Aveyard with the Red Queen series behind me. I mean, it's just crazy to see how much it's booming now. And I really, really love it. And I love the community that books bring to everybody. So hopefully I can bring some of that community here. But hopefully you guys will join me along for the ride. So like, comment, subscribe. Anything you want to know about me, comment down below. I will also tag all of my social media handles down below. I'm on Lemon8, which I'm obsessed with, and post mainly book stuff on there as well. TikTok for just daily vlogs, book stuff, anything you can think of, I put on TikTok, Instagram. I try and stay active on everything. So follow me on all those social media links down below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. And that's all for now. Love you.
She enjoys books. So all of you book friends out there, if you like books and you like reviews and you like good books and you like somebody that reads millions of books.
This is not all the books I've read. I've read a lot more than this.
This is your girl. She's also the best wife ever. So join the ride, I guess.